Don't put your phones away there, folks, because yes, it is true. We are diving into more of these names that have been linked to certain NHL teams. And for people who watch this YouTube channel, if you're a fan of the Canucks, if you're a fan of the Canadiens, if you're a fan of one of my two favorite teams, then you will be intrigued by this conversation. It's not the first time we've had a conversation about this name right here, but it is a little bit of an expanded look because there have been a bunch of new articles posted about this guy that debate whether or not my two favorite teams could go out there and acquire him. Let's talk today about Seattle Kraken center Jared McCann. And that is the big, important key word here, center. He can play all forward positions. He can play left wing, he can play right wing. He's a left-handed shot, so he does prefer left wing, but he can also play center. Stratford, Ontario native, 29 years old. Jared McCann was a former first-round pick by the Vancouver Canucks in the 2014 NHL Entry Draft. Just don't remind me how he ended up leaving the Vancouver Canucks organization, or any Canucks fan for that matter. Please do not remind us. But as the scouting report goes out there and talks about, Jared McCann is a highly intelligent finesse player who fits the mold of a traditional two-way center. An excellent skater who displays consistent agility, tremendous release in his shot, but can get caught thinking instead of doing. His transition game is elite, and his quickness at switching from defense to offense is so abrupt that it catches a lot of players off guard. The work ethic, talent, and hockey sense is all there, but the biggest thing is that McCann needs to be more confident in his abilities. When he is on his game, he can be dominant, and when he is offensively and defensively assertive, he is near impossible to stop. As McCann continues to grow into a more prominent role, he will develop more upward-trending habits and become more consistent. His potential is that of an elite offensive forward who can make an impact on the game at both ends of the ice. Now, it just says EP here, but I'm going to assume that this scouting report was from 2014, back when the Vancouver Canucks took him in the 24th overall spot. I remember Jared McCann said during the Canucks season tickets press conference with the season ticket holders asking questions and stuff that he modeled his game after Ryan Kesler, and that was met with a lot of boos in Rogers Arena because at that time Kesler had just gotten traded. So it was a really interesting dynamic there. But Jared McCann, despite the fact that the Vancouver Canucks didn't really give him too much of a sample nor a chance to break into his role, he ended up becoming a 70-point player with the Seattle Kraken in his second year there with that team. 40 goals, 30 assists, 79 points as the Kraken eliminated the reigning Stanley Cup champions Colorado Avalanche in the playoffs that year. The next two seasons saw McCann post up 29 goals and 62 points, plus 22 goals and 61 points, as a very consistent Canadian scoring threat. Not to mention the fact, of course, that he can play center. Now, the reason we are talking about McCann in the context of the Canadiens and the Canucks is because of a series of articles that was posted on TVA Sports as well as thefourthperiod.com. Now, we're going to be linking a whole bunch of stuff in the description, so don't worry, everything that you need to read is all going to be there. Let's start things out by reading an article posted on the Fourth Period David Pagnotta's website yesterday, July 9th, 2025. Turns out, the Seattle Kraken are open to moving Jared McCann. Let's scroll down here. The Seattle Kraken have made a few additions to their roster so far this offseason, and GM Jason Botterill is reportedly looking to do more. They acquired Mason Marchment from the Stars and Freddie Gaudreau from the Wild in separate trades, and they had signed Ryan Lindgren via free agency to a 4-year, $18 million contract on July 1st. As Botterill and the Kraken look to retool for the 25-26 campaign, they are still believed to exploring the market and are also open to moving one of their wingers. During an appearance on Sekeres and Price earlier this week, the Fourth Period's David Pagnotta reported the Kraken remain open to moving Jared McCann if the right offer presents itself. His name started to pop up around the trade deadline. He's still available, Pagnotta said. He is somebody hat, we've been hearing that Seattle is open to moving. Yeah, that should say, that, not hat. McCann, who ranks number 20th on the 4th period summer trade watch list, has 2 years left on a contract with an AAV of $5 million. The 29-year-old also owns a 10-team no-trade list as part of his deal. And linked is the same video clip of David Pagnotta on Sekeres and Price talking about Jared McCann's availability from Seattle. And of course, Sekeres and Price is a Vancouver-based show, so you've got David Pagnotta stepping onto the airwaves of this Canucks show saying, yeah, no, that guy's available. He's on the market. And this, of course, plays very well into the summer trade watch list, also on the 4thperiod.com, because if you scroll down to that number 20, you will see that Jared McCann is linked to the Vancouver Canucks, Ottawa Senators, and New York Rangers. With 2 more years left in his contract, McCann is an attractive ad for any team looking to add more scoring punch to their lineup. He has a 10-team no-trade list and has some say in where he winds up if the Kraken decide to trade him. Now that's not it. We're not just talking about Vancouver, because of course we are. The idea of Jared McCann heading over to the Canucks is honestly really great. All reported altercations of him and the Sedins aside, this is a player who would absolutely fit the bill as to what Vancouver needs. A second-line capable, two-way center with a really nice goal-scoring touch. He doesn't need to score 40 to be effective and beloved in Vancouver. He just has to be better than Filipino, which, as long as you play 82 games, I think that's automatically better than Filipino because he doesn't really do that. But I guess from a talent point of view, the guy was almost a point per game just a few years ago. We know what he is capable of doing when he is on his groove. Even in all the other previous years. He was pretty fine in Pittsburgh, pretty okay in Florida. It took him a really long time to inevitably get that groove. But now in Seattle, as a top 6 forward, he definitely has found that today. Which is why you also have folks on TVA Sports writing about Jared McCann on their website. Take a look at this article, also from yesterday. An offensive center available in Seattle? Montreal Canadiens fans are still hoping to see their favorite team trade for a second-line center, and they may have already looked towards Seattle, where a quality bait is reportedly on the market. David Pagnotta of the 4th period suggested the name of forward Jared McCann, who can also play left wing. The 29-year-old skater could be heading elsewhere, according to the hockey expert. Up front, the Kraken recently acquired Marchment and will join a group that includes Beniers, Jaden Schwartz, Kakko, Stevenson, and Wright. McCann's name started circulating as the trade deadline approached. Yeah, it's the same things over here. Essentially, this article is saying, hey, there's that guy. He's available in Seattle. If you're a Montreal Canadiens fan, do you bite the bullet? Do you take a look at this guy right here? And honestly, for me, I'm kind of thinking about Jared McCann in Montreal and saying, I wouldn't really see an avenue for this to get done unless it's already fully confirmed that Montreal is out on Jordan Kyrou. If Kyrou is no longer an option, I can see Kent Hughes being as aggressive as he has been this entire offseason and pushing for a guy like McCann from the Seattle Kraken. I don't necessarily know if he would be Montreal's first choice after Kyrou. I know everybody talks about guys like Marco Rossi, and Jean-Gabriel Pageau has also been tossed in there. There are a number of names that you can debate about. But Jared McCann would be a more than fine option to play behind Nick Suzuki. Definitely more than fine. All those same qualities that we had asked out of him in Vancouver when he was a prospect, he is pretty much doing that right now. He even had the 40-goal season with 70 points, a la Ryan Kesler. Oh my gosh, are we really getting to a point where this guy is comparable to Kesler? Nah, dude, Kesler won a Selke. We can't go out there and say that. I gotta end this video now before Canucks fans come crucifying me. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about all of these updates here as David Pagnotta opened the door to talking about Jared McCann as a trade option. Do you think he works with Vancouver? What are your thoughts on the idea of him heading over to Montreal? Let me know in the comment section all your opinions. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.